Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of AEW Weekly Wrap Up. I'm your host, Ethan Black. Today, we're going to cover this shows the two shows from last week, Rampage and Collision. Also, some news and Ring of Honor stuff. We'll get into. So, Eddie Kingston is still in the G1 Climax. So, just a quick update. So, on night 10 on July 30th, he gets to win over Mikey Nichols, 8 minutes and 33 seconds. So, he goes to 6 points. And then on night 12 on August 2nd, this past Wednesday, he goes up to 8 points. He defeats Tama Tonga, who has 7 points, 11 minutes and 39 seconds. So on this Tuesday coming up, he will be in his final Block C round robin match against never overweight James Dave Finley. Whether winner of that match goes to the quarterfinals. So I'll keep you updated on next week's episode. And also, Connecticut Akeshta was recently a Wrestling Revolver where he got the win over Granke Loco. That was last night on August 3rd. So that was just some news there. And then we'll go to last week's Rampage on July 28th. So we had a 8-team battle royal tournament for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Ring of Honor 6-man tag champ Brian Cage, Big Bill. They got the wins over Chris Riddle, Matt Sydal, Ethan Page, Saya Cassidy, Jay Lethal, Adam Singh, Chaos Project, Luther Spendico, Jericho Priest, Matt Menard, Angel Parker, Matt and Jeff Hardy, and the Butcher and the Blade at 16 minutes 34 seconds. The last eliminating the Butcher. So they will get the tag title match on this week's edition of Collision. And then Commander, who was substituting for Scorpio Sky, defeats Kip Sabian at 10 minutes 39 seconds. The Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett defeat Hayne Backlund and May J. Lee. I do apologize if I butcher his name at 43 seconds. And the main event, Hikaru Shida defeat Nyla Rose 10 minutes 56 seconds. Honestly, on that show, I just check out Commander versus Kip Sabian and Shida versus Rose. That's probably the only two I recommend checking out. Then episode 7 of Collision on July 29th from the XL Center in Hartford, Connecticut. So the dark match was Powerhouse defeating Mike Magnum. Then the actual show in a ladder match for Andrade El Idolo's Mask. Andrade El Idolo defeating Trioshin Buddies Matthews, 17 minutes 59 seconds. Darby Allin defeating Minoru Suzuki in 8 minutes 16 seconds. Ring of Honor Television Champions Mojo defeating Gravity, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Trios action, Bull Cup Gold, Juice Robinson and Austin and Colin Gunn defeat Action Andre, Darius Martin, and the AAA Mega Champion El Hijo de Vikingo, 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Mercedes Martinez defeat Kira Hogan by submission, 7 minutes 6 seconds. And the main event for the AEW World Tag Team titles, the champions FTR, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood defeating the number one contender tournament winners, AEW World Champion MJF and Adam Cole, or also known as Better Than You Baby, 17 minutes and 53 seconds. Out of this show, I recommend checking out the ladder match, Darby versus Minoru Suzuki in the tag team title match. That's the way three I recommend checking out. Now we will go to this past week's Dynamite, episode 200 from August 2nd at Tampa, Florida. So they had 3 dark matches for the show went on the air. The first was with some trios action. Marina Shafir, Nyla Rose, Tyler Valkyrie defeating Avery Brooks, Dream Girl Ellie, and Kelsey Regan. Tag team match with Brian Cage, Big Bill defeating Cameron Shorter Luther, and Lee Moriarty defeating Dante Casanova. Now we went on the air. We kicked it off with some tag team action. Chris Jericho and Kanelsuke Takeshita gives the win over JS's Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. 12 minutes and 21 seconds via baseball bat shot to the head by Don Callis. Honestly, this was a pretty fun match. I just went 6 out of 10. Because honestly, Garcia and Guevara make a great tag team. I like Jericho was kind of hesitant to wrestle them, but I like Takeshita logging pulling a page out Jericho's spoke by locking the walls Jericho, but calling the walls Takeshita. Don Callis did get it. Jericho didn't really want him to, but at the end, he gets to win. But honestly, I thought this match was pretty enjoyable. I just went 6 out of 10. And we go to Tony Khan backstage, telling AEW on the road to All In before showing highlights of the first 200 episodes of Dynamite. And actually, speaking of Chris Jericho, Renee Paquette trying to get rude with him, but Menard prevents him from saying anything. And then basically, we're going to have a mandatory meeting next week of JS, and Jericho has to be there. And then we go to the ring. We're supposed to get this face-to-face between FTW champion Jack Perry and Jerry Lynn. So Shivani is in the ring. He just Jack Perry, of course, gets booze. Before Shivani tries to grab the mic, try to say something, Jack Perry just yanks the microphone for him. And I did get a laugh. Shivani tried to talk, didn't realize. A little delayed, but it was pretty funny. And basically tells Lynn to get out there, to come out to get his ass kicking like a man. So he calls him Jungle, and he said he wants to keep, but he can't because that would be child abuse. And basically, doctors won't clear him, but he said he called a friend that used to wrestle in ECW with and still wrestles today, which is kind of true. Then also we hear Walk by Pantera. It is Rob Van Dale. I seen reports earlier in the day that it was supposed to be on All In. I'm actually kind of glad they're not doing it all in, to be honest with you. I'm glad they're doing it next week, which I'll talk about at the end of this review. But it was pretty cool seeing Robbie Name coming out there. And then Jack Perry jumps over the barricade, holds a little girl. But RVD can still go. So it would be a fun little match next week. But RVD, it was coming out to save Jerry Lynn. And then we get basically a hype video pack for the women's title for the main event. And then we go to our second match of the show, Triple defeating Jon Moxley and Pentagon Jr. in a triple threat anything goes match. Basically a triple threat hardcore match, pretty much. I like how Moxley took forever to do that, so Brad just hits a tope suicida. Surprisingly, Moxley actually didn't get busted open in this match, which I'm a little surprised Triple did. I mean, we saw Barbar, 2x4, I believe it was, and a bar board, tables, trash can list, thumbtacks. I mean, everything. I did like the spot right before we went pitcher in pitcher with Beretta superplex Moxley off the middle rope for two tables. That looked really, really painful. And then I also Pentagon hitting Canadian Shore to Beretta through a table. And then I actually thought that was it, to be honest with you. And then I also thought Moxley had to win when he probably drive Pentagon for on tax. I actually thought that should have been the ending of the match, to be brutally honest. And then he hit Beretta with a cut on them. They were wrestling in tags for a little bit because I know Beretta hit a strong zero to Moxley on them. And then Moxley basically match ends with Moxley paragram shift on Pentagon, and then Beretta takes Moxley with the knee and then covers him for the win. I mean, quick, fun little 12-minute match. I just won 6 out of 10. And then after the match, Moxley chokes up Beretta, as we saw Ring World Champion Cody, so we make the way to, but we saw International Champ Orange Cassidy to basically stopping them. And once they get the rings up, Brad dives up top to them. And then Cassidy takes out Moxley with an orange punch. And then Chuck Taylor announces that on Rampage that they'll be having a tag team park lot fight at Daly's Place on Rampage. It'll be Best Friends versus Moxley and Claudio. Originally, I actually thought this was going to be a rare live edition of Rampage, but it's actually not. Apparently, they are taping the Park Gala Brawl. I believe they taped it last night. That's why Moxley couldn't appear at Wrestling Revolver. So, yeah. And spoiler, I had a friend who was at the show, and he said they taped 3 matches there, so they didn't do the Park Gala Brawl, which we'll see. And then actually, speaking of Rampage, Renee interviews him. It's a year Jack Perry in his mouth, and then basically Jeff title, which we got to confirm. And AEW World Champion makes way down the ring. He said, feel emotional with have a heart to heart with the fans in Tampa. And that was his attention deflected the order as the fans chanted ADD until rejection deflected disorder. So you got basically to stop being bullied, abused, cheated on, etc., etc. Basically what he's done before. And he said he's a scumbag and he's going to make him peel and boo him, which we got a chant of our scumbag. Then he calls Adam Cole to the ring, and then so he did say he offered him a world title match after the tag title match. He said originally wasn't gonna. He said you're not getting it, and Cole looked confused. I actually thought this was gonna be a swerve. Kind of glad they did. And then MJF grabs a contract from I believe it's Justin Roberts. Said they're gonna do it at the biggest show of the year, which is All In. That'll be at August 27th. And Cole signs it right away without even reading the contract, and then they hug and make the graphic official. So we finally get a match for All In, which I'm glad. And we see Roger still in his neck brace throwing stuff around the back before we see the Kingdom. And Matt Taven tells Strong that Cole always remembers real friends, which is true. Cole is not fully an angel on this one. He's actually turned on a lot of Undisputed Era, the Kingdom, Bullet Club. I mean, if you see, you know what I'm talking about. But that was kind of cool bringing the Kingdom in the storyline. But I'm pretty excited for the AEW World Title match All In there. But spoiler, that's actually the only match made so far for All In, which I'll talk about at the end of this review. Then we go to our third match of the show, Trios Action, The Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, defeating Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Adam Singh in 9 minutes via One Wing Angel on Jay Lethal. I mean, fun little match. I just won 5 out of 10. I mean, short for 9 minutes. First match comes in when Hardy's attacks Sanjay Dutt. Adam Page runs I think he came for the crowd and hit Jarrett with a buckshot lariat. As Lethal tried the guitar, he hits him with the buckshot. So Omega plays the guitar and then hits One Wing Angel. I mean, it's a quick little 9-minute match. I thought, I'm sorry, before the Hearts, and I like how before that all happened, Omega tried to lift Saturn in for the One Wing Angel, which was pretty cool. And then Brandon Cutler takes care of Jarrett with the spray, I think it was, and then Sanjay Dutt basically beats him up. I mean, quick, fun little fine fight, 9-minute match. And after the match, him and Page got him that they re-signed to AEW, which I did forget to mention the news portion that yes, they have re-signed AEW. So is Kip Sabian and the Dark Order of All re-signed to All Elite Wrestling. And then Omega T said they're going to see him on Dynamite, Ring of Honor, Rampage, and maybe even Collision with a little smirk on his face. So that was a cool little tease. But yeah, I do apologize. I did forget to mention the news. But yes, the Elite, that was the biggest news. But and then Evil Uno announced that Dark Horse re-signed for 3 years, I believe. And then Kip Sabian commented on his thing and announced he's resigned as well. And also one of the best segments of the show, we go to backstage Mogul Embassy, Prince Nana, Swisher, and the newest member, Eric Fox. And Eric Fox has asked Darby why he didn't call him when he got on AEW and didn't call him for 5 years. Now he's got to take everybody away from him. So swerve toward the cameraman that he's from his movies. As we go to Nick Wayne's house in Seattle, Washington, I believe, to the Buddy Wayne Academy. As we see Nick Wayne train somebody in his ring, and he calls the Academy shit, and then asks what the Fox say. So AR Fox just, he threw the skateboard, like yeeted the skateboard at the student's face. Go away, train somebody. That looked like that smoked him pretty hard in the face. I did feel bad for that student though. But hey, you gotta learn the wrestling business. So they start attacking the students before they attack Nick Wayne, and then swerve with the picture frame of Nick and his father, the late great Buddy Wayne, and cracks it over Nick. He got busted open. I like how he tried to call Darby, but Strickland takes the phone and tells it to unlock, which that was actually pretty cool. He had an iPhone, so obviously any iPhone user would know they face recognition, and they couldn't see because Nick Wayne obviously was busted open. So I like how they wiped the blood off. That was a pretty cool touch there. So Darby thought it was Nick and Wayne, so he said, and then Strickland said this beginning, and then tossed a phone for glasses mobile base forever. I care for this tag. We're probably getting this tag match at All In, which I'm pretty excited. Honestly, this was the best video package I've seen in AEW so far, like this year. Well, in the last few weeks, I shouldn't say all year, but in the last couple weeks. But this was pretty good for Swerve, so I can't wait for this tag match, whatever's going to happen. And actually, speaking of tag titles, we go to the Ring of Honor World Tag Team title match. The champions Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis retains over Commander and El Hijo de Vikingo, 9 minutes and 51 seconds via Cornelius on Commander. Honestly, best match on the show. Less than 10 minutes. I thought it was pretty cool. Vikingo doing this. I don't even know how to really explain it. It was like a Hurricanrana type thing to Kyle Fletcher, which was pretty cool. I like the double forfeit. I actually thought I bid on near full for Kyle Fletcher broke up the pin. But it was a really fun match. This is one of the matches I recommend checking out on the show. And then they were running the cards for Rampage and Collision. And then we go to our main event for another title match. This one is the AEW Women's title. I'll talk about the Ring of Honor Women's stuff after. Hikaru Shida, the challenger, defeating the champion Toni Storm, 13 minutes and 16 seconds via roll-up. I actually thought that was a pretty fun main event. I give this one 7 out of 10 as well. Honestly, out of these two matches, I like the tag title match a little better, but these are the two I recommend checking out from the show. But this was a pretty fun match, and Shida probably gets to have a run as a women's champion with actual fans. As you know, before she was a pandemic champion. I like how I think it was Rubenso that gave her the candlestick. I can't remember who it was, so I do apologize. And then Shida had and Tony's daring her because you can't want to tell a DQ, and so she hit Rubenso. And I like the way Soho did sell the candlestick shot. That was pretty cool. Oh, it was Soraya. My apologies. I had on my notes there. I forgot who. And then she spray paint. I actually thought that match was over when she hit the Storm Zero. I'm glad it's not though. And apparently, I see theories. I guess Tony Storm's doing a movie, I believe, or a biography. Anyway, she had to go do some acting stuff, so that's probably why she got the title. But congratulations to Shida for becoming a two-time women's champion. And that's how we end Dynamite. Overall, I actually really enjoyed it. Went by pretty quick. Honestly, the only match ever, like I said, the two title matches was. If I had to pick a third, I'd probably say the triple threat match, but that's probably the only three I recommend checking out. I know on tonight's Rampage, we have trios action. Matt Hardy, the Hardy's Matt and Jeff teams with Keith Lee goes Butcher, DeBlay, and Kip Sabian. Swerve Strickland and AR Fox and Local Embassy goes as Lord Cruz to Sean Perez, and AJ for Skype. That was taped at Tampa. And then obviously at Daly's Place, we have the tag team Parker Lot Brawl, second ever in AEW history. The first one was Best vs. Powerful which is crazy. That was 2 years ago already. So this is the second ever Best Friends are in it. And then starting on Collision, only 3 matches we have made so far. The real AEW World Title Night, CM Punk defeats Ricky Starks. Ricky Steamboat will be at ringside. Chris Dow defends TBS titles against Mercedes Martinez, and FTR defends the World Tag Team titles against Brian Cage and Big Bill. And made for Dynamite so far with the FTW title and FTW rules match. Jack Perry defends Rob Van Dam. All in card made so for August 27th. MJ will defend against Amico. And by the way, we finally got some confirmation on it, so it will be Bleacher Report, Fight TV, YouTube, etc. The pre-show starts at New Eastern, or where I'm from. I'm only an hour ahead, so it'll be 1 p.m. for me, and the main show starts at 1 p.m. Eastern, so 2 p.m. for any Canadians on my time. And All Out card on September 3rd, literally a week later, Luchasaurus will defend the TNT title against Darby Allin. That's the only match made for those. But that is AEW. And then we will go over to Ring of Honor episode 23. So we kick it off with, we had 12 matches here. We did get the, we know the semifinals. If you obviously see spoilers, so you know. But, so the semifinals are Shane Taylor versus Chris and Gravity versus Tony Nese. So we had the first up to, on the show, the opening match was Shane Taylor getting the win over Chris Video, 6 minutes, 39 seconds. Battle of former TV champions. I just won 6 out of 10. So originally they did announce this as a non-title match between Ozzy and Iron Savages, but we had an interview saying Iron Savages challenge for the titles, which we got. So for the second night in a row, Ozzy retains over Iron Savages, 9 minutes 20. I give this one 6 out of 10 as well. For our second or third title matches, Pure Title on the line, Kashira Shibata retains over Josh Woods, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. I really enjoyed this match. This one's 7 out of 10. Dalton Castle gets the win over Zach Clean, 3 minutes 53 seconds. I just won 5 out of 10. The Infinity Kali Brown and Sean Dean defeat George Joel and Nick Kamara, 4 minutes and 34 seconds. I mean, fun, all right little tag match. I just won 5 out of 10. Little Hirsch defeat Miranda Bonante. I do apologize for butchering her last name. 3 minutes 21 seconds. Layla Hirsch continues to be dominant. And also, Marie Caness Bell was watch on the ramp. Not the first match. She did this on this episode, which I'll get to on another match. And then our final semifinal match of the number 1 Contenders Television Title Tournament. Gravity gets one over 20. It's 5 minutes and 35 seconds. I just won 6 out of 10. So Gravity will meet Shane Taylor in the finals. I believe they said next week. Don't quote me on that. And our third and final title match of the show on episode 23 for the women's title. Athena retains over Dean Monte, 9 minutes and 16 seconds. I actually really enjoyed this match. I wouldn't mind these two front of the back. I just won 7 out of 10. And then a tag team match, 2/3 of the 6-man tag team champions, Gates Agony, Khan, and Toya Leona, defeating the boys Brandon and Brent Tate, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. I just won 4 out of 10. And then Cole Carr defeat LSG at 3 minutes and 1 second via DDT. Cole Carr, first time I've seen him in a little bit. And Rick Hisbet did come back out for this match, so wonder what's going on there. And then our semi-main event, Robin Renegade defeat Christina Marie, 3 minutes 56 seconds. And the main event and tag team match, El Hijo de Vikingo and Camaro defeating the Workhorseman, Anthony Henry and Jay Drake at 8 minutes. This was a fun time. I just won 7 out of 10. And by the Cole Carr match is 4 out of 10, and Robin gets a 2 out of 10. It was just too short from me, honestly. But overall, I actually really enjoyed episode 23 of Ring of Honor. Honestly, the only matches I recommend checking out are the 3 title matches, Shane Taylor, Christian, and the main event tag match. That's the only 5 I really recommend checking out from this show. So yeah, that's AEW Ring of Honor stuff. I'm your host, Ethan Black. I'll be back next week, talk about the usual stuff. Have a good weekend, guys. Stay safe.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.